So we've got Yuki with Reggie Drago Shadow Rider, Terra Ghost Reggie Drago, but 3 Dragon moves. No Terra Blast, no Cringe Blast, Terra Steel Urshifu, Overpon Half Flame, Terra Fire Whimsicott, and Terra Water Helmet Indeedee. Just HO, really offensive, fast, hard-hitting team, but still with nasty plot on Kelly Shadow. Since you have double redirection, you might get some opportunities where you can get the nasty plot off. No, the Ursaluna is min speed. The Ursaluna is min speed. But you mean why the Roaring Moon click Tailwind? Yeah, that's probably why. Oh, wow, a nice drip with a shiny Lucario and the hat. Not bad. But yeah, Icy Wind, Sunny Day, Tornadoes. Landorus on Koraidon is also something you usually do not see. Indeedee Mail, Specs, Flutter Mane, Terra Ground, Chiyu. So this is literally HO against HO. The Terra, like, the Flutter Mane is going to be super annoying because it hard walls Reggie Drago and it can Terra and it still survives a hit from Shadow Rider and Reggie Drago. So that is a board you don't want. But Urshifu Rapid Strike is also bad in the sun. And Half Flame is not bad per se, but there's also Power Gem on the Flutter Mane. And the Koraidon probably threatens a 1-hit KO with Top 5 levels as well. So I'm really curious to see how both of these players approach the matchup. Both probably try to get Tailwind off as soon as possible. Both have Prankster Tailwind. So let's see. Yeah, Tornadoes, Flutter Mane. I guess Yuki can go for something like Tailwind, Terra Steel, Searching Strikes into Flutter Mane. Well, that is not great. Like, the Tornadoes can also go for Sunny Day, and that is the annoying part. We see no Reggie Drago. Makes sense. But no Half Flame is weird. If I were Yuki, I would have always bought Half Flame. Flutter Mane Tornadoes. Okay, just to see what the Flutter Mane locks itself into. But if this is choice specs now, with special attack booster, it is choice spec, we know that, but if this is special attack booster, Sunny Day Dazzling Gleam seems like a very logical play. And then you lose your Tailwind. Okay, he just kicks Tailwind. Wait, then I think this was not an amazing play. Oh. Wait, what? Sometimes I don't understand why people go for hard reads, but if it works, it works. Like Tailwind Searching Strikes, your Flutter Mane dies, Shadow Rider joins the field, you lose the game. Right? Yeah, you have to go Indeedee. And what you can do is like Terra Steel Searching Strikes Trick Room. But he can also Moonblast with Indeedee so you don't get the Trick Room off. And then you have no form of speed control anymore. I think he didn't. I can look it up after the game. So this is a really bad position for Yuki because Indeedee definitely does not survive a double up of Bleak Wind Storm and Terra Fairy Moonblast. I'm not even sure if it takes the Terra Fairy Specs Moonblast. Who was it, Connor? Okay, we see a switch instead of Terra Steel. I would also not like taking 80% of my Calyrex. Or it's just special attack booster and your Indeedee dies and you lose the game. Yep. So, nah, Connor, you said Dash? Are you serious? But yeah, this is GG. Lead Flutter main Tornadoes, click Tyrant Moonblast into Tyrant into Sunny Day Moonblast profit. That game was like really whack. I mean, I understand what Yuki was going for since he was so far behind. He has to get like Milwich out of everything. Also, I'm so incredibly tired, to be fair, because I haven't slept much, but there are not that many rounds left, so we will get there. He probably Moonblasts the Shadow Rider. Yeah. And now the Shadow Rider can go for a double protect, get the double protect, and then KO. And then the Shifu can KO with Tornadoes, and then maybe you can win with Expanding Force spam. Also, did you know that I was talking, like, there's one question, how many restricted mirrors will we have on stream? We still have 0. But, I mean, Koraidon against Koraidon seems inevitable, right? Maybe not. Did he read the double tech attempt and Moonblast with Shifu slot? He did not. Which is valid. But yeah, that was a game. Now we will see. It doesn't matter what really switches in. Probably Koraidon, because you don't want to reveal what you brought in the bag, so you will reveal the Pokemon that your opponent most likely will think you brought with you, and then it makes most sense to bring your restricted out right now. Yeah. Pelipper is not necessarily amazing into into Koraidon. Bye-bye. Wow, what a fast game one, but also kind of boring because nothing really you can analyze here. Bad lead from Yuki, I guess, and good lead from Andres. Okay, game 2. We see a Lando lead instead, and Indeedee on Yuki's side. So Indeedee can go for Trick Room Expanding Force, but Andres also knows that and probably switches to Instant or Hands. So you could go for something like Tyrant's Hands here, but it's not an easy turn. I think it's easier for Yuki to just kick Helping Hand, yeah, and Expanding Force. And grab a double knockout. Okay, we see a Terra. So that Expanding Force doesn't do anything, and you resist the Star Rush. Clever. Helping Hand. No Tyrant. Bye bye Lando. Yep, that is a one hit on Lando. And now the Taunt double connects Bleakwind. But since Andrus does not have a restricted that has spread damage, it looks way rougher. Does Andrus have something that is like good into the Shadow Rider? I'm really curious to see what he goes to. Scarf Geo is faster, yeah. Yeah, you can tell, obviously. We see the Terror on Indeedee so that it doesn't die to Dark Pulse and it also takes the fire moves better. But if the Tornado just kicks Beacon Storm, yes, it would die to... Yeah, there's the Star Barrage doing a huge chunk of damage. And now... Well, this is... Yeah. Since he set up Trick Room, Cayden is out. Is there a Pokemon that can be annoying? Can Calyrex win this in Trick Room? I'm really curious, like, Chio Kowaidon. Chio... You can lock yourself into Heat Wave, but since TR is up, I think it's always game. We see a Star instead of Expanding Force because... So yeah, there's the Flare Blitz into Indeedee. I was not looking for a second. I am very tired. But yeah, a Trick Room was up and that's why the Flare Blitz went first. Yeah, bye bye Kowaidon and Shalong de Chio. Wait. Okay. I have to drink something. But yeah, Swabash just picked up both KOs, yeah. Because of the Trick Room. Is he falling asleep? I was for a second. I don't know what happened there. Gotta drink something. Did we have any misses? Did Bleakwind Storm miss? I think it didn't, right? I think we had no misses. So let's see how game 3 goes. I think both of these players can win. The matchup is on Andres' side, but yeah, we see Shifu Whimsicott again and Flutter main Tornadus again. Back to game 1 drawing board. do we just see Tailwind from both of these sides now? The problem is if you set up Tailwind, like if both players set up Tailwind, it comes down to which player has a neutral file. The problem is if you go for the same play as in turn 1 in game 1, you can also just immediately lose the game. And that's why we see a different play this time. Tailwind surging twice. Sunny Day, Tailwind. Now Andres has delayed Tailwind. And Surging Strikes is not going to KO with Fluttermane. Owens, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, the Whimsicott can Anchor the Tornadus, but the Tornadus can also go Terra Dark. I think he will click Terra Dark. And depending, if he knows if Astral Barrage Moonblast is enough or no, it is possible that he goes for... Well, you cannot stop not expanding forces. Astral Barrage Moonblast. You're falling asleep mid-sentence. Is that bad? Okay, switch. I don't think that is correct. Because if this is Terra Dark, Tailwind now, this Scarf Geo is big trouble. You know what? After this round, I will make a quick power nap, a 10-minute power nap. And then I will be back in business. That works. Like, my body is built like that. Oh, we see a Fluttermane switch into Chiyu. And Terra Dark Tailwind. So we see the Terran Tornadoes. That makes sense because you want to get the Tailwind off. Drink pure gasoline. Is that going to help, you say? If you say so. The problem now is that... Let's see how much this Astral Barrage does first. I think you don't want to click Snarl with the... you don't want to click Terra Dark with the Shadow Rider because there's probably no Snarl coming its way. But Heat Wave instead. You can go for Terra Water Trick Room and then it would be funny because we would have had Tailwind into Trick Room. But... I mean, it's better than just clicking Psychic. Helping Hand, Terra Astral. But Chiyu survives that. Are you fine with Chiyu surviving that? So we see Astral Barrage, but the problem is... yeah, it does not KO. Helping Hand. Overheat into Indeedee is very weird. I guess removing the possibility of Trick Room. And also since the Shadow Rider Terra to Whimsicott cannot Terra, so the you can also... Yeah, Helping Hand Astral picks up the Tornadoes. And the Chiyu. Wait, what happened? Dude, I need... Wait, that was a max roll. That was a max roll, chat. Shadow Rider with Life Orb against Chiyu with no bulk. You see, Estrabash does like 37 to 44, and then with Helping Hand 56 to 67, so it's a roll in his favor, but yeah, now Yuki just wins. Wait, that KO'd the Chiyu is so surprising. I think Andres threw because he hard switched into Chiyu and he should have not done that. Also, the overheat was weird. If he clicked Heat Wave, the Shadow Rider would have probably been in range for Life Orb, so you can just click Protect, Dazzling Gleam, and win. Yeah, it's 100% over. And Yuki is our first top 4 player. You know what? Back at... I will... Okay. I'm really curious to see how many people will stay here because I will be back in 15 minutes. Quick power nap. It's better than just falling asleep mid-game, but crazy that Yuki won it because I think Andres had the matchup. But got lucky with some rolls, I think. I'll be back in 15 minutes. It was not the internet. I misclicked on my Stream Deck. I have a button on my Stream Deck that says start stream and stop stream or end stream, and I misclicked. We don't talk about it. And Daniel, oh yeah, Daniel's running that team. If this team makes another top 4, like, this might be one of the best teams made for one tournament. It remembers me of, like, the Roaring Moon Justin Tang incident with Kelly Ice, you remember it? It's pretty similar to that. Terra Heatran is the key to win the game. I disagree with the cornerstone lead. What I like to do against Koraidon teams is Heatran and Incin with Rilla and not Rilla, Screamtail and Ogapon in the back. Like you are always forced to bring Heatran, Ogapon and Incin. And the last is up to you. Terrafire immediately. Yeah, and now, well, Terrafire turn 1 is a little crazy. Probably expected Terra Fairy Terra Blast, but I think I would have Rage Powder then. Because now, like literally, he is in such a bad spot if Magma Storm connects. Like, what do you do against Terra, Fairy, Magma Storm into Bonnet, Ivy Cudgel into Koraidon? Man, turn 1 Terra against... I would say it was an obvious double, like, it was an obvious double tagged. It's kind of crazy. Like, it's not just crazy, it's just bad. It's honestly just bad. No, Will Tank! Which Koraidon Weezing is it? Is it the one that is in top 8? Wait, what failed? Wait, what just failed? Wait, what did he click? Wait, what did just fail? Ogapon used follow me. Ah, he doubled. Okay. He doubled the cornerstone. I see. I mean, yeah, follow me makes sense. I connect! Yeah, Jade, I do have the same issue. I don't know when it popped up the first time, but it just popped up and I started to live with it. Before Sam Pletcher, yeah, he's top 8. But still a really good one. I'm proud of you. I think you have to click Terra Fairy here. Terra Fairy Magma Storm into Koraidon. I mean, Spiky Shield and Protect is also a play, just to stall out Sun turns. And now he also stalled out a Protect from the Flutter Mane. So he could KO Flutter Mane with Magma Storm. I think Magma Storm in the Sun plus the Whirl damage should be enough. But I think you still Magma Storm the Koraidon, because then on the next turn you can fake out it with Instant, Magma Storm the Flutter Mane. I'm going to cry. I play both. I think Earth Power is better. The reason why I think Earth Power is better is that you bring it in Koraidon teams. And if Koraidon doesn't Terra, it's fine. Because you've got the Scream Tail and Will-O-Wisp Instant and stuff. And if it Terras, you still want to hit it. You also want to hit Incineroar for super effective damage. I do not like the Magma Storm into Flutter Mane. Yeah, the Magma Storm into Flutter Mane was just bad. Well, does Daniel know that he can switch Flutter Mane here? Yeah, like Terra Dragon, like Terra Fairy Terra Blast is really good into Terra Dragon Zama, but as I said, Zama is like whatever. Thank you, Stream Elements. Okay, so either Daniel didn't know that he can switch, or he wanted to stay. Like, no, staying here makes no sense. You always switch Flutter Mane, so in the next turn you can switch Koraidon and then you have Sun. Now you don't have Sun anymore. That made no sense. Why did he stay with Flutter Mane? Is that another interaction that most players just do not know about? That Ghost types, like, I think it's a known fact that Ghost types cannot be trapped by Shadow Tag. But it also applies to Magma Storm, Infestation, and all that stuff. I mean, Daniel just still wins. Because this is Tachyon Kata Collision Course. So Cayden, Cayden has to, no, you have to switch Instant to Scream Tail, and then you can go for Fake Out Disable. Yeah, you have to switch Instant into Scream Tail, not Heatran. Not the Heatran. If you switch Heatran into Screamtail... Yeah. He understands. You have to switch Instant into Screamtail to have a shot at win. No! 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 Yeah. No! No. What is he trying? Huh? No. I don't understand. Wait. What? Both players with the most terrible line I've ever seen. Wow. No words. Literally no words. Why? No, I just cannot explain. If he parting shotted the Iron Crown, instead of using knockoff on Koraidon, he actually had a chance, because then, Heatran would have not survived the Tachyon Cutter, right? Because after the first hit, the Citrus Berry would activate, and then maybe you survive the second hit that way, and then you can KO the Iron Crown with Magma Storm, you fake out the Koraidon, and then you have, like, Magma Storm into Protect, into Rocky Helmet damage. Yeah, I think NA regionals are cooked. I will never do this again. This is honestly just cooked. But it's a really good matchup for Daniel, to be fair. Okay, again, Koraidon and Bubon. I mean, Daniel trolled the turn 1 really badly and won, so... I think if you lead Cornerstone Heatran, you just go for hard reads. No, you cannot play Follow Me. If you just trade, you will lose the trades. Like... You have to Magma Storm Koraidon. That's what I've been saying from the start. You have to Magma Storm He's so desperate. Like, he just says, okay, I will hard... I said that you have to go for hard reads, but I didn't mean it that way. Yeah, it's over. Like... I never lost against Koraidon when I played Terrapagos because I clicked Magma Storm on Koraidon. Well, I lost when I missed, but I won when I hit. Because it works like that. You Magma Storm Koraidon, then you can take, then you can toss Ugarte, KO Bubonnet with Magma Storm, and then you go instant, you fake out. Like, the world damage is more than you think. We did not have any misses, no. But you know what we are missing? Good gameplay. That's what we are missing. Oh. No, he is Citrus Berry. Like, here, Sucker Punch, Terrafire, Flame Charge. You could hard read it with Spiky Shield, Magma Storm into Koraidon. But do not click Magma Storm into Bonnet. But now you have to click Magma Storm into Bonnet because otherwise your Heatran gets spoiled. And that's where the problem starts. I mean, you can click... Okay, Spiky Shield, Magma Storm into Bonnet is free. Like, Koraidon and Bubonnet do not hit Heatran. Spiky Shield... Okay, he bought the same for again. Spiky Shield, Magma Storm for Bonnet. And then you click Follow Me, Magma Storm into Koraidon. For once. Okay. Bam 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 bam. If he clicked Magma Storm on Cayden on the last turn, he would have been in such an amazing position. But I think Daniel thinks he can play it safe, but he can't if this Magma hits. It's a speed tie! And you know what? I somehow knew that this was going to happen. Because you know what's funny? Okay, I will show you right now. I think my Brute Bonnet has 87 speed. Where's my Brute Bonnet? Wait, I played Brute Bonnet. When did I play Brute Bonnet? Here. 86 speed. But you could have also done like this. 87, okay? Like this is a very common spread. And now I will show you something. Heatran against Heatran here, 87 speed. Shout out. And that's why, by the way, my Heatran, you can double check it because as always my teams are public. My Heatran has 88 speed. This is from a tournament game, Hard Trick Room, you know. I wanted to give it one last ride, but here, 88 speed. Boom. It's over. He just clicks Collision Course Seed Bomb. Oh, he clicked Collision Course Seed Bomb. What a surprise. And this all would have not happened if he just Magma Stormed the Cayden on turn 1. Okay, one time wake up. Wait, why is he popping off? Why is he popping off? Why? Let's go! I went for a bad play! Yes! Man. How can you, like, pop off when you go for a bad play like this? Chill? I'm not chilling. That's what I'm also doing, Arknor. Don't get me wrong, I watched the Birmingham Regional. The Birmingham Regional was also terrible. I remember some games. There was one Miraidon Kyogre game I remember very well. I will not forget what happened there. Going Screamtail here is weird. I guess, okay. Yeah, you had to Magma Storm the Cayden. Because now you have to click Protect, switch into... No, Protect... Okay, GG. Like... his only play was Protect, switch into Instant. And then you have Fake Out, Disable, into Anchor, switch, into... Like, this was his line. But now... Why Collision Course? Why is he not Flare Blitzing with Screamtail? Why is he... I guess to cover the play I went for. But then I would Still, I forget that the Koraidon is not trapped. Yeah, bye Screamtail and GG. Okay, based on his reaction, he did not expect. Thank you, Mika, for the prime. You saw this reaction. He did not expect the Flablets to KO with Screamtail. Okay, I gotta calc that. I gotta calc that. Is it close? Not Heatran. Actually, Screamtail can survive it. That's rough. This is still the other game we still have to watch. Well, GG. No, actually, if he survives and then KOs Iron Crown, then he can still not beat the Koraidon. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It was a rough matchup to begin with. And especially the Brute Bonnet speed tying the Heatran mixes things up, so there's no shame. It's just still, if there are suboptimal plays, I still want to highlight them. But yeah, now Joe is in top 4 apparently against. No worries, Hannes. How are you doing? Good evening. So we've got Joe in the semifinals. I still do not understand. His one is like crazy because he cannot keep getting away with this. Bad. But not terrible, just bad. But yeah, if he's playing against Koraidon, maybe it's just time to win speed ties again. I mean, in the last game, he won 4 out of 4 in the last set. Oh, he's playing against Joey Woodring. We know Joey's team. We just saw it as well. It's the Iron Crown, Bonnet, Koraidon, and DD, GU Fluttermane team. I mean, it is almost the same team than the Venusaur team, right? It's just Bonnet instead of Venu, and Fluttermane instead of Raging Bolt, right? I think this team synergizes just very well with a lot of stuff. So it is just clever team building. I would have still not expected it to have such a good tournament, but yeah. There was a Venusaur team, yes. It had a good showing. The Alley 45 Miles Wim team, yeah. If you have, how did it do? There was one person that started 7-0 in one regional, not this regional. I think it was it Vancouver? No, it was before Vancouver. Yeah, I know. It was, his name is Zachary Weed. Zachary Reed in San Antonio started 7-0 with Venusaur, and then he lost 4 in a row. But he started 7-0, so it had a top 64 finish, I think. But yeah, indeed, Fluttermane is an interesting lead, but it makes sense. That way you cannot get paralyzed, and maybe you can just win the speed tie to either threaten the Miraidon for a lot of damage, or you threaten the Grimmsnarl. So yeah, switch light screen makes sense, but playing against that team, you can position yourself so well. Now there is Grimmsnarl for Growner on the board, but you can just switch to Koraidon. What is Grimmsnarl plus? Oh, does he immediately switch into Koraidon? No way. Yeah, GG. Man. Okay, GG is maybe a bit too much, but this is such a good position for Joey. Imagine not starting 8-0, weird. This is such an amazing position for Joey. he probably Moonblasted with Volcarona slot. Yeah, but now you can probably double the Grimmsnarl with Moonblast Flame Charge, and then it's just game. Good question, Hannes. I mean, there are like some not low, like if you think about locals, it's maybe something different, but locally events where, how do I say, they are not comparable to like the locals we have, but they exist. But yeah, this is probably Moonblast Flame Charge both into Grimmsnarl. He removes the Grimmsnarl. Then he has Flare Blitz into Volcarona. Or if he goes Miraidon, you can double the Miraidon with Moonblast Flare Blitz and get a guaranteed knockout. Wait, does that even KO? Oh, he Flame Charged with Volk. Man. Oh. This is over. Like, now Joey will click Moonblast and Flare Blitz both into Grimmsnarl. Yeah, that is literally the only way Joe can actually win the game. Paralysis. This is literally the only way. Because now Grimmsnarl dies to Moonblast. And Miraidon takes a Flare Blitz, so Miraidon then is in Moonblast range. I guess you can then Terra Fairy with Miraidon. So let's see. T-Wave. Misses, and that is game. That's another miss, by the way. Noting it down, 12 misses. Did we have a mirror? Was there a Koraidon mirror? There was no Koraidon mirror on stream, right? But yeah, that is just game now. No mirror, okay. Maybe in the finals. Yeah, you have to go to hands. And what do you even click? Like, you have to click Terra Fairy because otherwise you die to Moonblast. Or you say the Fluttermane switches to Indeedee. I think the best play from Joey is just stay with both and just Moonblast Flare Blitz with Miraidon, because you get the Terra on the Miraidon, you force him to click Fake Out, and the Miraidon can only KO one Pokemon at a time. Yeah, and that's why he stays with both. He could also protect with both first. Or protect Koraidon and attack with Fluttermane. Also possible. Okay, it's double protect. Well, he's stalling his own son. But he's also stalling terrain and, more importantly, screens. But now Joey can always click Flare Blitz into Miraidon and Moonblast into hands. When Miraidon slot dies, Koraidon is faster and you get a ton of damage on Iron Hands. There's one turn of Sun left. Why did he Moonblast? Oh, wait, never mind. He Moonblasted the hands. Okay, we are good. By Volk. The problem is, it depends on what the last Pokemon is. Does Wild Charge even KO Koraidon? It has to, otherwise it's over. Okay, it KOs. If it didn't KO, the Quidon would just KO the Quidon would KO the Miraidon. Now the sun is gone, so this is not super terrible for Joe. Joe against Joey is also funny. Okay, he bought Iron Crown. Iron Crown should survive an Electro Drift in Psychic Terrain. So this is Expanding Force switch. Yeah, Expanding Force switch. Joe reads Switch Protect or Stay Protect. He's scouting what Joe locks himself into. Actually, wait. Do you not have a guaranteed win if you switch Iron Crown now? Yes, you lose your special attack boost. But then you also have to connect an Icy Wind so that your Crown outspeeds the Miraidon. And then follow me to Kyokata. No, Crown switch is a guaranteed win, no matter what happens. I guess you have to connect Icy Wind. Okay, he switches Flutter Mane. If this Electro Drift crits, he loses. Oh, I don't like that. Iron Crown switch and Icy Wind connect was just better odds. Yeah, Joe is max timid. If this crits, Joe wins. But Joey also tossed that. Man. Why did he not switch Iron Crown? Because let's say Joe targets the Flutter Mane slot and wins the speed tie. Then you get no Icy Wind off, but you switch into Indeedee. And then Indeedee can redirect the Electro Drift. You can KO the Iron Crown, the Miraidon with Tachyon Cutter, and then the move from hands goes into Crown, but Crown survives that, and then you have single target Expanding Force, and you win. Like, there's no way you can lose, no matter if he Electro Drifts the Flutter Mane or the Indeedee. Yeah, it was just a guaranteed win. But why go for guaranteed wins if you can also just risk a crit? And that is something I realized many players, like, every time, I got raised wrong, I guess. Every time, imagine this would have been a crit, everybody would have said, oh, he only lost to a crit. And then nobody will think about it no more and just say, he lost to a crit, right? Even though he could have prevented the crit. And I realized that in my early age, it happened to me a lot that I lost games because I just clicked and just said, okay, his only out is a crit. But then I realized, okay, why do people do this? Why should you not maximize your odds? Why should you not maximize your odds for winning? Like, if you have one, you can choose 100% win, 96% win. I would choose the 100, but I don't know. What happens if he goes for your play and misses Icy Wind? Depends on which slot he Electro Drifts. So if he Electro Drifts the Flutter Mane, he wins. If he Electro Drifts the Indeedee, I think in Psychic Terrain, without Seed, you survive an Electro Drift, so you still win. Because then you can click Follow Me and Tachyon Cutter regardless. Unless he doubles the Indeedee, wins the Mind Game, and wins the Speed Tie. No, it's not 5% Icy Wind miss. It's Joe has to target correctly. Joe has to get a crit on Indeedee as well. So, what are you yapping? Yo, Maxime, good evening, how you doing? Yeah, exactly, what Jade says. Wait, what happened? Crown bomb. Okay, I see. Vote switch, that's a ton of damage. Now the question is, did he expanding or did he Tachyon Kata? Because if this is expanding now, that's why he goes Crimson, makes sense. So, bye-bye Volcarona. Or does it survive? Volcarona has good Spadef. Okay, never mind. Now we will probably see Miraidon again. And I assume this is Electro Drift Light Screen? Yeah, to be fair, yeah, I phrased it wrong as well. Like, Switch Icy Wind is also not a 100% win, but it has better odds. Well, Arknor, I'm telling you, I think it's close that it KO'd. I think it was actually very close. We can do the calc after the game. Oh. This is probably Electro Drift Switch angle. Or you set up Reflect, yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. Joe's team has no good matchups. Literally, I don't know how he always top cuts with that team. It loses to Dondozo, it loses to Koraidon, it loses to opposing Miraidon, it loses to Terapagos, it wins against Zama. I guess it wins against Zama, the top tier threat. Yeah, BGF, I mean, it still takes like a lot of time to get like really good at this, but I'm glad that it's that I'm helping with that. So indeed he dies here. It's possible that he clicks Expanding Force into the Miraidon to keep the Grimmsnarl alive, but then T-Wave is annoying, so yeah, that's what I was thinking of, but now T-Wave is on the board. Yeah, I think I disagree with it. Like, I also thought that Joe would switch the Grimmsnarl into Iron Hands, but then he doesn't get the Reflect, which is good for Koraidon. And now, T-Wave pressure is hella annoying. Does he Terra Fairy to survive a Moonblast? I don't know. I think he should have kept the Terra for the hands. For the Miraidon. Like, for Koraidon. Like, Terra Water hands against Koraidon Fluttermane is just amazing. Ah, shit. Here we go again. And the speed tie win. Ah, shit. Here we go again. Well, that's rough. So, Joey hella bailed. Wait. Joey is trolling. Yeah, I know. I noted it down. So, now the problem is T-Wave. Like, still. If this T-Wave connected, Joey would have lost. Joe would have won. And now, both Pokemon outspeed Miraidon, yes. But the Grimsnar can go for T-Wave. Yeah. Because the Miraidon wasn't terraed yet, maybe he thought he doesn't terra. And he also wanted to catch a hand switch and stuff. Now it's really a game of odds with T-Wave. Okay, this time T-Wave connects. Man, if everything comes down to T-Wave, it's so cringe. Okay, Flame Charge into. He has to remove Grimsnar because if Miraidon also takes the T-Wave, it's... Oh my god. Okay, yeah. And that's just game. Look. Do you read the Protect on the Koraidon? Okay, do you read the Protect on the Koraidon? Actually, it's not just game. If you read the Protect on the Koraidon, you double up the Fluttermane gets paralyzed, you win the game. Yeah. Do you double up the Fluttermane or do you double up the Koraidon? He doubles up the Fluttermane. This is an average Joe play. Oh, Joey is losing if he gets paralyzed now. He doesn't even... Oh my god. Para now and Joe wins the game. This is so cringe. How does Joe do it? How does Joe do it? That he is mind controlling. Oh. Actually, electric terrain is gone. So maybe so you flame charge Miraidon. How much does this Drain Punch do? If Drain Punch into Wild Charge KOs Koraidon, do we think Drain Punch into Wild Charge KOs without electric terrain? I think it doesn't. It's Clear Amulet Koraidon, not Life Orb. But crit or the Plot Armor. Yeah, it doesn't KO. But maybe Joey clicks Flare Blitz and KOs himself. His better play is to click Collision Course. We all know that. Collision Course into Flare Blitz is better. I don't know if Collision Course into Flare Blitz KOs with the Reflect being up, but it's still better. Because if you Flare Blitz now, you die to Drain Punch. You Collision Course into Flare Blitz. Hi Bloom, how you doing? You don't protect because when you lose the sun. Yeah, Collision Course. How much does this do? Flare Blitz. It KOs. I say it KOs. It KOs. GG. Oh, close set. 100%? Wait, 139 HP was it, right? 139 HP. Hands. Where he had 0 HP or like 4. And he was at 139. We don't know the Koraidon investment. Let's just take this investment, for example, behind Reflect. So if it's 196 adamant, it's a roll. If it's Jolly, which I think it isn't, but if it's Jolly, max attack, then it's like 60% roll. Maybe he had less defense when, like 60% sounds about right. Or if he is like 116 adamant, it's the same roll because it's the same attack stats, 187. Or it could also be what I played in early Rake G was 68 adamant, then it's a 50% chance. Yeah, I also think like he didn't need to Terra the Miraidon because Joey clicked Icy Wind Expanding Force for no reason. Icy Wind Expanding Force was just terrible because if he had Terra for the hands, I was also thinking like hands behind screens, but also you need to get these Electro Drifts off because hands cannot 1v3 as well, so it's rough. Also, since someone said Helping Hand Expanding Force always KOs Volcarona. Iron Crown, Special Attack Booster, Helping Hand, Psychic Terrain. Like, look at this. Like, this is timid, to be fair, but even like Modest with, let's say, 180 has a 75% chance. So, yeah. No, you don't invest into special defense, Jade. If you, like, we know that it is not very fast. We saw that it's 188 HP, probably like this speed, but you much rather invest into physical defense, not into special defense. Anyways. Oh, with a Weezing team. Okay, so we've got Daniel. We saw his achievements just a few minutes ago. And Yuki, GC, 3 top 8. OCAC top 16. A regional top 16. I thought I would have expected him to be like regional finalist or something. But yeah. I think this is a new team, right, chat? Have you seen this team before? So if Daniel Yu wins, we get another full mirror in the finals. Wait. No, it was not against the same Korean team. I was like, didn't Yuki play against the team before? And now again, and now again. Maybe in the Swiss stage. Wait, I want to double check that. Did Yuki play against that team before? He played against... Doesn't look like it. Unless one of them is like one of their partners. Yeah, with Torn Lando. But maybe he played with against them in Swiss. That's what I wanted to double check. Okay, Half Flame Whimsicott as a lead. That is very strong here because you can click Taven, Terrafire, Ivy Catcher. You can one-hit KO the Indeedee. Well, if Daniel goes for Helping Hand Expanding Force, you look really bad. The very same team BGF or like very similar team? If it's the same team, it's crazy. So I think this is very good for Yuki because we don't see a Helping Hand. Same composition, different moves and items, like just a few, I see. Good evening, Katakuri. So yeah, Terrafire, Ivy Cutter, as I expected. Follow Me, Expanding Force was also to be expected. You want your Whimsicott to die here, but it probably won't. And that's why you lose another Terran turn. And you cannot really threaten Terrafire Koraidon that well. Yeah. Like, Daniel can just go... really interesting that he didn't bring Sash Fluttermane to this matchup, but he can just go to Koraidon. Or you go Chiyu and hope that you survive the double up and go for Heatwave, but I'm not a big fan of that. I am not a big fan of that. There's probably Shadow Rider and Ursh in the back, I assume. That makes sense. I am not sold on Brute Bonnet in regulation. Honestly, but people use it and perform well with it, but I don't understand what the purpose is. Yeah, this is the double up into Chiyu that I expected, and now you lose your best Shadow Rider answer. Yeah. If, like, there are still 2 more Trick Room turns. It depends on what Yuki brought in the bag. I assume it's Shadow Rider or Shifu. Oh my god, I'm so good. I think there's... Okay. Actually... It is very tough for Daniel to win. I think Yuki has a guaranteed line, which is Terra Steel. Oh, he cannot Terra Steel with Urshifu. I think Daniel has to click Protect on one of the Pokemon. If he doesn't click Protect on... Yeah. But you have to Expanding Force. Wait, if you do something like this, you have to Expanding Force. Yeah. And Protect. I respect that. I respect that. But he didn't Terra. Is it Astral Barrage CC? It is Astral Barrage. If he clicked Terra Water and Yuki targeted... Yeah, KOs. Well, that was very free for Yuki, you might say. I am thinking if there was a counterplay. No. Since Tachyon Kata doesn't one-hit KO Shadow Rider, this play CC into Koraidon as Astral Barrage always wins. I will explain you why. Let's say Koraidon doesn't protect. That means Koraidon dies. It's a win. Pretty simple. Let's say the Koraidon protects and the Iron Crown terrestrializes. The Iron Crown takes more than 50. The Koraidon takes more than 50. And then the Crown KOs the Urshifu, but then the Calyrex will just click Astral Barrage or Expanding Force and just win the game. There was no way Daniel can win if Yuki clicks Astral Barrage CC into Koraidon. He had to go for a choke, which is like Expanding Force CC, and that's why he didn't Terra and just hope that Yuki greets for Expanding Force. Nah, I'm not a big fan of Hyper HO. Okay, game 2 starts with Koraidon Chiyu instead. I don't know why he decides to lead with Chiyu, because it's his Shadow Rider answer. But he certainly has a plan. Well, he doesn't have a plan, because Tailwind, Terrafire, Ivy Cudgel into Chiyu is just free. The Chiyu cannot protect itself. There is no fire immunity in the bag. Oh wow, it's Tailwind, Terrafire, Ivy Cudgel. What a surprise. What a pleasant surprise. Oh, Tailwind, Terrafire, Ivy Cudgel into Chiyu. I think Daniel just didn't figure out the matchup. I'm just curious if Joey, like, this is funny because Yuki plays against Joey Woodring now, who uses the very same team. So I'm curious if Joey will go for similar stuff, because now if he KOs Whimsicott, which I think he did, no, okay, actually now he's still in the game. If he targeted the Whimsicott, he would have lost for sure, but Bonnet Flutter Mane. Yuki can just click Anchor into Koraidon and Flame Charge into Indeedee, into Flutter Mane, Ivy Catcher into Flutter Mane, my bad. I guess you don't want to Anchor in case there's an Indeedee in the bag. The best play from Yuki is Anchor Ivy Cudgel. How does he do it? I don't know. And Ivy Cudgel. Into Flutter Mane. Boom. And if this Flame Charge goes into Whimsicott, now it's a 50-50. Owens? Nah, Owens. Yeah, okay, it's GG. Because now he has Shadow Rider, Astral Barrage, Ivy Cudgel. GG. Owens, you're trolling, right? You wouldn't bring Indeedee without Crown. That is for Trick Room? No. Just for follow me purposes. For Psychic Terrain purposes. Like, I think you underestimate how good Indeedee without Iron Crown is. Also, the other way around is also not quite true. You can also bring Iron Crown without Indeedee. But where I say, like, I would more understand Indeedee without Crown than Crown without Indeedee, but you can bring both of them separately as well. But yeah, this is just Astral Barrage, Ivy Catcher into Koraidon. I don't know why he's protecting. Follow me, yeah. Wait, follow me? Does he not have Trick Room up? Tailwind up? I thought he has Tailwind up. Wait. He does not have Tailwind up? Oh wait, the Koraidon would be faster than the Half Flame, I guess. Now you need a double protect. Nah, it's just over. So we get a rematch in the finals. So we had 0 mirrors on stream in the end. 0 mirrors. That's crazy. 0 mirrors, 0 Arubegas in top cut. So yeah, this is. I know that Yuki will always kick Astral Barrage Ivy Catcher now. It's so obvious. I would bet $1 billion. Actually, no. No, stop. I realized that the Koraidon is +3 speed right after I said it. I realized that the Koraidon outspeeds the Shadow Rider. Stop. No. I realized it, like, I said it, and in the same second I realized, wait, isn't the Koraidon +3 speed now? Wait. Daniel is winning. Yeah, Daniel is winning. I can't. You have to like nasty plot. You have to nasty plot protect. No, it's you cannot stop. No, it's over. Joey Woodring. Joey Woodring's team consists of Cayden, Chiyu, Fluttermane, Bubonnet, Iron Crown, Indeedee. Shifu does not have Jet. It's Surging Strikes, Close Combat, Taunt, and... Okay, he goes for Plot. I was thinking about the very same play, because now you can attempt a double... Wait, isn't Sun ending now as well? Wait. No, doesn't change anything, right? Moonblast, Sucker Punch. Yeah. No. It is Surging Strikes, Close Combat, Taunt, Protect, or Detect. So, yeah. It's over. I was thinking about like stalling Sucker Punches, but it's just not possible because Urshifu dies and then he has Sucker Punch Shadow Ball. I gaslit myself. Like, Yuki popped off so hard that I thought he won. I was being gaslit. Unless Urshifu survives with Moonblast now. If Urshifu survives with Moonblast now and KOs with Bubonnet with CC, it's a different story. Okay. And there was only a win con that Urshifu survives the Moonblast. No Aqua Jet is very common and okay. Yeah, I think Mystic Water Searching Strike CC is also kinda ass. Like, you cannot stall PP. Like, Sucker Punch Shadow Ball is just... Yeah, it's just there. You need like a quintuple protect. So yeah. Mystic Water... I understand the coaching sets dropping U-turn, like Searching Strikes, Close Combat, U-turn coaching on Scarf is a thing. Since I even ran, like my set was so weird at Worlds. Goggles, Surging Strikes, Aqua Jet, Sub, Protect, Terror, Water. Like Goggles plus Sub, the ultimate Among Us counter. Yeah, there are so many situations, like, let's say Ogapon Cornerstone survives the Surging Strikes with 10 HP, you can finish them off with Aqua Jet. There's a Sash Shadow Rider, you just finish them off with Aqua Jet. There are so many scenarios where Aqua Jet can be good. If he bought Indeedee, he would have won. Yuki, instead of Urshifu, I don't think so, no. Because then... yes, Sucker Punch is not on the board, but the Bubonnet is never threatened by anything. I can just spore the Indeedee so that Fluttermane can Shadow Ball the Shadow Rider. Jet is also important in the Trico matchup, that's fair. Yeah, Thiago, it was so good. I never clicked sub. But since they read sub on the team sheet, you know, that's like a psychological thing. My opponents read substitute on my team sheet, on my Urshifu. So they thought I cannot click Thunderclap. And then I always just decided to click Body Press, Terror Water, Surging Strikes into Bolt, and KO them. And I knew that I would die to a Thunderclap. But nobody Thunderclapped me. Nobody. Now the secret is out. If you ever see me with substitute again, go for your thunderclaps into me. Why would it be cinema? What is the story behind Daniel Yu and Chi Yu? Is it because it rhymes like Daniel Yu, Chi Yu? So Fluttermane Indeedee against, again, Ogapon and Whimsicott. Very similar to the game 1 lead. Indeedee is probably just going to pop like a balloon. So, yeah. True. Did he need to tell Ogapon to kill Chiyu? Yeah. Otherwise, Chiyu either takes 35% or 90% from Ivy Catcher. Like, you need to Terra there. Test? I don't know what happened. What? Okay, explanation. My PC restarted itself, and I don't know what happened with my cam. Where am I? What? Cam? Hello? Okay, I will do it without the cam for now. What? I don't know what's happening. Like, literally my PC just restarted itself out of nowhere. And now I'm just gone. So, okay. We saw the first turn, right? I think it was Tayren, Terrafire, Ivy Catcher. Where's my cam? Okay. You can just still hear me, right? Okay, Taywind. Ivy Catcher. Bye-bye, Indeedee. Icy Wind. Okay. No misses. Good damage. You have to go Koraidon. And you can go for something like Icy Wind, Terrafire, Collision Course. Because maybe that KOs Ogapon. Because now Fluttermane outspeeds. Like +1 Fluttermane is faster than plus... It's not +1. How do you say -1 in Tailwind? It's like not times 2, not times 1.5. It's times 1.34. Or you go for something like that. You can also not get anchored, so that's fine. That's what I did, Mackenzie. -1 under Tailwind. You call it -1 under Tailwind. Okay, switch out into Urshifu. Since the Fluttermane protected, Yuki is not in a terrible spot, but it's also not great. He has to go for something like Searching Strikes Switch, because he definitely needs a second Tailwind. And he is threatened of a KO of... He is threatened by a KO of Moonblast and Flame Charge. Yo, Phoenix! Thank you for your Prime. Really appreciate it. No cam finally. Thank you. Technically, it's plus 0.66, yeah. If plus 1 is times 1.5, you know, it's just math. Yo, Serena, thank you for follow. And it's still the old follower alert. What happened with my PC? Okay, yeah. Wait, didn't I just say that Yuki has to, okay, maybe not. I thought Yuki has to switch Whimsicott to, Ogapon to have a chance. He was not the same opinion. Wrong scene? No, this is the correct scene. I will take a look, after the game. So, Ogapon comes in now. Calyrex is still faster than both. So, you have to click protect. Now, I think it all comes down to the following. Listen. Does Koraidon without Sun KO the 90% Shadow Rider after Life Orb? I think it does. So it comes down to if, look, Yuki has to click Protect Ivy Cudgel now. But if Daniel doubles Ogapon, it's over. Yeah, I expected Daniel to lock in that, because that pretty much always wins him the game. Not just pretty much, it always does win him the game. Unless... No, if Yuki clicks... Okay, if Yuki clicks Protect Ivy Cudgel into Koraidon, he wins. Because then he can go for... then there's still one more turn of Sun. So Fluttermane would still outspeed. Okay, Follow Me. Now, Follow Me always loses. Unless he survives this double up. Wait, this KO'd? Huh? That's insane. GG's. Full mirror time! Poggers! So, even if this didn't KO, I think he would have still won. Should I explain why? I will explain why. Let's say the collision course doesn't KO, okay? So, what happens if a collision course doesn't KO? The Shadow Ball goes into Half Flame and KOs the Half Flame. Then Shadow Rider moves with Expanding Force. And I would say Koraidon survives an Expanding Force. Right? I would say Koraidon survives an Life Orb Expanding Force. And then Fluttermane dies, Koraidon takes a bunch of damage. Then Yuki can click Protect to stall out Sun. And then the question is, does Koraidon KO the Shadow Rider without Sun? If it's at 90%, what he can click is the following again. He can click Flare Blitz Call Mind, because in the Sun it KOs the Shadow Rider. So he can click Flare Blitz Call Mind because he had an Iron Crown in the back. Boom, Flare Blitz Call Mind. And then, well, if he clicks Flare Blitz again, he dies to recoil. And then Shadow Rider does not take Life Orb damage. So if this collision course didn't KO, Yuki would have won every time. Yeah, Yuki would have won every time if collision course didn't KO. And I'm honestly super surprised. Half flame against Cayden. Like, what? It's with 0 bulk. Like, what? It's with 2/5 adamant against 0, maybe like minus death ogre pawn? What? So he has like no bulk. And even then, like 196 adamant. I guess. Yeah, that checks out. Okay, I will change the scene. Like, it's in every scene the same. Hold on. Why does it... Ah! Oh. Hello, sir! Okay. We are so back. I don't know what happened there. So there were no misses, right? So we are still at 13. So, yeah. Another full mirror finals. What do we think about full mirror finals, chat? Oh my god, this is going to be so cringe. Maybe. Depends on which moves are getting clicked. So I just for the record, Cayden finished 1st, 2nd, 6th, 7th. This is the year of the Cayden. And then no other Cayden anywhere. I guess Calvin White. It's so funny because, like, I was Cayden's biggest soldier in the beginning of Reg G. Fair enough, spaghetti. I am very sure with 13. Remember that there was a double bleak wind miss? I kept track of it. I'm very, very sure that it's 13. Actually, Cayden won so many tournaments. I think Cayden won 6 major events. It won a regional in Latin America. It won EUIC. It won, like... Wait, did you write down the T-Wave miss from Grimsnall against, like when Joe missed T-Wave, Ares? Did you write that down? Yeah. Yo, Lossy! Mirror, how you doing? You know what? We should play a Gen 9 random battle for the party for the finals. Because the finals are going to be very random. I think CSR was mid, but now in Regulation I, the tables have turned. But also, everybody thought Miraidon, but Cayden, guys! Stop sleeping on Cayden! It's so funny that like Cayden and Lunala were actually nowhere to be found half a year ago. But now things have changed and Zama had this short lifespan. It was bad in the beginning, it is bad in the end, but in the middle it had a good time. Stop MRN. Oh, MDB. I was like, who the frick is MRN? Okay. Caesar. U-turn. Are you crazy? You are crazy. I always thought Zama was bad. Skill issue. That's all I can say. Incineroar, I cannot escape him. He is everywhere I go. But Entei against Incin, that's what I love to see. Oh my god, it's Choice Bandit. I hate my life. Call an ambulance. Okay, he's going to EQ. That's Defog. Deferk. No, it is definitely not Castro. Sorry to disappoint you, but it definitely is not a thing. Boom. Quit! Didn't matter. Mandy Buzz, foul play. I go the Wood, so cannot touch it. I can go Golem and set up blocks. He probably has default. Ah! Ah! Anytime I play anything but CSR Zama, I lose. Maybe you should play CSR Zama then. I think Zama plus Kelly Ice is terrible. Sorry. Farigiraf? Is this VGC or what? If I go Zawood, he can just heal the Incin. I think I have to go Golem. That's fine. That's also fine. I'm preparing everything for a specific endgame. This is the endgame. It all comes down to the last Pokemon. And it is! If I miss high jump kick, I lose. I have boots, yeah. Well, he only seems to have Iron Head. So I U-turn. Nice. And now I don't risk a miss. Let's go! I connect! We were missing it. Let's go! I connected with high jump kick. Let's go! If I missed, I would have lost, but I connect! Yeah, that's it for the random battles. I hope my random battle viewers are satisfied now. See, that Zama is easy. Just don't bring Zama. Wow. Wow. Final started? Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, what? It didn't just start. They already finished it. Okay. They led with 4 different Pokemon. That's funny. Imagine they prepped together. I could imagine it. Would you say they let the person win who needs more championship points for the invite, or who did more for the team? You understand? Or do you think they are playing a real game? Like, Bourbonnet Chiyu seems like trolling. I don't know, like, Bourbonnet Chiyu seems like trolling. And going Terra Fire turn 1. You wanna tell me that this is not that this is real? Why did he click Terra Fire? Why did he not click Terra Water on the Bourbonnet? Why did he just Terra Fire? I think this Terra Fire made like no sense. Oh, wait, was that the stream? Was it me? Okay, and now he just Moonblasts the Bonnet. I guess he can Sucker Punch. Actually, nah, he cannot Sucker Punch because of Indeedee. That Terra Fire made literally minus sense. Okay, he's NA. He's NA. All good, all good. And he just suckered. I mean, that was not a bad play to be... Okay, if you click Sucker Punch Shadow Ball, you should double up the Flutter Mane. You should double up the Flutter Mane. At this point, you cannot tell me that this is not scripted. Maybe it isn't. But like now, you cannot even prevent Moonblast into Kowaidon. I don't know. we will see. We will see. It's interesting that we saw all 6 Pokemon in this game, right? Chiyu, Bourbonnet, Flutter, Kowaidon, Indeedee. No Iron Crown, actually. No Iron Crown so far. Actually, match fixing is not forbidden. If he clicks Shadow Ball again... Okay, this is rigged. This is rigged. It's sad to see that they had to rig a finals, but this is rigged. This is... Yeah. Mount, they are definitely friends. I mean, you can see it. Like, you can see it. They are friends. And this is literally the very same team. They are friends. Yeah, that's what I also thought, BGF. I can imagine that they just said, okay, let's just play one game because playing a whole set with these teams is just super cringe. So I let you win game 1, you let me win game 2, and then we play a real game 3. This could actually be the case. It's better than playing the first game real, and then the loser has to toss the second game. You much rather... Or maybe it was not rigged, but it looked very rigged. Why Bubonic? Okay, it is rigged. It is definitely rigged. High tech, it is actually legal, yes. I once asked, is it allowed to throw for like... I remember people were playing win-it-ins and were giving wins away so that their friends made top cut, and it is allowed. Yeah, that's what I also thought. Let's say Joey has like 600 CP and Daniel has 100. Then you of course let Daniel win because Joey will get 300 CP out of the tournament, so he has 900, and then he gets the world's invite. You understand? We can take a look at the leaderboard to see where they place, okay? If he goes Tower Fire again, he goes Tower Water this time, right? Okay, maybe it's not complete trolling, but still, now Chiyu dies again. Or Daniel again called him out, and now you just Moonblast, and then you KO the Bubonic in the next turn with Moonblast, and you can collision course with Chiyu. Great. Even if it's rigged, I mean, it's an incredible performance that both of them, and even I think there was another person in Top Cup with the same team, where they built this creative team and performed so incredibly well with it. So you cannot take that away from them. It's just sad that we have such a lame finals now. But I gotta say, I congratulate them both, like Daniel and Joey, if you see this. Very well done. Yeah. Wait, Moonblast, he always kicks Moonblast Flame Charge. Why does he switch Fluttermane into Flame Charge? Did he just switch Fluttermane into Flame Charge? Why should he collision course? Because after Flame Charge, he outspeeds the Chiyu. And he also outspeeds the opposing Kowaidon then. It is actually trolling, but it's fine. At that point, who cares? At least they are having fun, yeah. Sometimes it's the friends we made along the way. Now, Saitsu, don't tell us that, okay? We will look it up ourselves. Psychic, Tower Fire, Flame Charge. Yeah, I knew. And double up on Bubonic. Yeah. It was so obvious. And he switches Fluttermane. Oh, so okay. I think I don't have to say it every turn, but now Psychic KOs the Bubonic because of Beats of Ruin. Otherwise, it could have maybe survived it, but this is obviously, yeah. I mean, both of them also lock in their moves. Both of them lock in their moves after 2 seconds. You cannot tell me that you play a finals where you just don't think but lock in after 2 seconds every single turn. Yeah, now he just collision courses the Chiyu and Psychics the Kowaidon, so that Kowaidon is in range for collision course. Now Kowaidon also outspeeds the Fluttermane. It's just over. It was over before the match even started. Like, literally. Like, you saw the game 1 and you knew Bubonic Chiyu is the worst, like literally the worstly possible, and then you go for it in game 2 again. Yeah. Sure. What's your rating, Jade? If you wanna tell. I thought about it, Draco Blaze, but maybe. There's no real answer to that for me. And now he will Collision Course Koraidon, Psychic with Fluttermane, and there's nothing Joey can do. Congrats to Daniel for winning. It's a little sad that we had such a finals, but sometimes it do be the case. Collision Course, like Psychic, Fluttermane, Collision Course, and GG. I mean, that sums up this regional very well. If you cannot win, just let the other player let you win. Great way to end Reg G. Indeed. And which... Okay, I want to see which picture they chose for Daniel Yu. And boom.
Championships last year. He is looking to make a name for himself in this game. Secures a ticket to the World Championships, beating his friend Joey here in the grand finals. Joey, of course,
cool photo. But yeah, Aaron also said they are friends, so now investigator Michael Kelch back in biz. Home. 2025 championship points, VG, Latin America, Masters. I will show you this website now. This is like Hackerman's website. I've got Discord messages. Also, please load. I didn't mean to do that. Please load! Please! Yeah, I knew that I would not leak anything there. Oh, wait. Actually, Maxime, you are right. But still. Why does it... It's like the... how do you say the... Not the showman effect, the... Present... how do you say? In German it's Vorführungseffekt. What is it in English? I do not know. But... This website is like crazy. I guess we can take a look here. But nah, this is like... Come on! Demonstration effect, maybe. Oh, is that the case, Maxime? Unfortunate. I mean, we can at least see how many points they got out of regionals and stuff. Like, we only don't see locals and GCs. But from regionals, Daniel Yu this season got top 64, top 256, top 128. These are his 3 finishes. So he got like not a lot of points from regionals, maybe something like 200-ish. $1,900 is crazy. Marco has 2,100. MichaelderBeste mentioned? Unfortunate. But yeah, he has like 200 points. And I know that Joey, I think he top cut in Rec H regional. Yeah, he top cut Louisville. Top 32. But other than that, no points in Baltimore. I think actually, based on the points from regionals, it would have made more sense to give Joey the win, I think. Worlds don't get you CP, right? Yes. I mean, there's this one website for Europeans. It tracks the CP. CP, nah. Document, nah. VGC CP sheet. Nah. It is like somebody tweeted it. It's a Google Doc, yes. You probably know which one I'm talking about. Risky business writing CP on Google. Why? I think it's fine. Allelöschen. Boom. Who was it? Man. I can find it on Discord. That's not an issue. Wait just a small second. Found it. Look, this is a website. It shows every person with auto invite and where you got your championship points from. So, for example, for me, MichaelderBeste, we've got 1572 CP. Out of majors, I've got like over 1,000. GCs are not so good. As you can see, other people perform in GCs better than I do. Locals are almost maxed. You can get 260 points via locals. You can also see like the best majors like Stockholm, Gdansk top 8, LAC top 32, Dortmund top 16, Lille top 32. Like my EUAC top 128 doesn't even count because it's best finish limit of 5. And then my GCs, you can also see like the best GCs. I've got 80, 50. I tried to get 120 this weekend. I don't know if I will get it. You can see ICs attended, regionals played, GCs played, majors answered. It's pretty cool. And especially if you want to see like 75 plays. Currently has 727 CP. And then you can like, it's not for travel awards, no. You can like calculate what the 75th place probably is going to be. And according to my calculations, the cutoff is probably going to be 915 championship points. What the hell? Yeah, actually, what the hell, Connor? That is not amazing. But yeah, you need like about 900 CP in Europe to get an invite. The blue ones, as I said, are auto invites. They do not count. They get excluded. Kind of crazy that Chichiot, for example, has no auto invite. Matty also cut like 10 events, has no auto invite, and yeah. Also, like you can see fun stuff like Alex Gomez having 0 points full in locals is wild, and yeah, it's just pretty cool to have some statistics. So yeah. I can Cone mentioned I can send you that in the chat, but that being said, I still have stuff to do. I have to wake up early tomorrow. I haven't slept that much, as you know, but we will see. Thank you, Saris, for follow. We will see how many players from each country will qualify. I said it will be about like 20 Italians. I think there were like 12 Germans, 15 Spaniards, 1 Finnish with only like 3 French. But we can take a look at that maybe next stream. But where's Ibrahim? Ibrahim is over here. And Rahim is like over here. So, yeah. So how many misses did we have in the end? I think it's 13, right? It was 13? I think it was 13. If I think it was 13. Damn, Agnor. Which island? Should I guess? I cannot guess. I would suck at guessing. You know what? I will rate you to... Do you want to see some global challenge gaming from one of the best players in the world? I will do it. It was not Joey, it was Daniel Yu. One of the best players in the world. Also the person I played against in Stockholm in the finals. It's Eric Rios. I've said it a couple of times, but where I live is irrelevant. It's late. If I am sorry. I apologize if I forgot Agnor. I hope you don't feel bad about it. And I will try to remember now. Anyways, that being said, I will see you sometime next week. I gotta think about it. Good night.